Guys, hope you're having a good day. Hope you guys had a good, safe, fun, and safe holidays. Today, I did take a massive loss, and I want to break down the things I did wrong, what I could have done differently, what I'm going to do different, and the only good thing that I'm taking away from today after today's massive loss. So here we go. So the open range was from 17,052 all the way down to 1704 flats. As you can see, Nasdaq was pretty bullish on the day. We did keep trying to break above this open range resistance, but as you can see, got rejected right here. I actually got faked out right here. I thought it was holding above this new support and validating it, so I went long. I got faked out. The moment we broke below that EMA, I got out. I took a $154 loss. Now, one thing I do want to make clear to you guys really quick is this $982 loss was not one or two trades. This was four or five red trades and maybe one or two green trades that were very, very small. Um, After around about an hour of being on the computer, I sort of realized that, like, hey, when I looked at like the open range resistance, because I've told you guys in the past I use two computers, and on one computer I'll look at QQQ when I decide to trade options, and I'll look at like the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute, and the 1 hour on that one. And then whenever I'm executing my trades, I'll look at the 1 minute. So if I'm trading with Nasdaq futures, I'll look at the 1 minute. If I'm trading with QQQ or TQ or SQs, then I'll be using the 1 minute. I do like to have another computer to look at for like the 5 and the 15 minute, just for overall direction, to read the volume, that kind of stuff. So one thing, and I'm going to go back and forth, so I don't really want to confuse you guys. But on Nasdaq, I want to show you guys this real quick. Our open range resistance for QQQ was 410.24. Last week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But we got rejected at 410.47, not once but twice in the same day, and then we had a massive sell-off. Now, even though it ended up recovering by the end of the day that it did sell off real fast, 410.47 became a valid resistance. So I want to show you guys one, like, after I got done trading and I really looked at it, and I was thinking, like, man, like you guys can see, here's my alert set right here at 410.46. This whole time I'm sitting there thinking, you're telling me my open range resistance was at 410.24, and yet I'm supposedly supposed to go long when we have a valid resistance at 410.47, which is not even, barely 20 cents above. So I took it as more like I I overtraded. That's the first thing I want to make very clear. Um, After I got faked out in that first trade, I took a $154 loss, and then my second trade, I started doing a bunch of scalping trades, and I would hold them for too long. There was two trades where I was like up like $150, $200 at the absolute most today, and I just didn't take profit. I was trying to make more money. Um, and yeah, I was just trying to make that loss, because by that time I was already down like $300-$400. So when I was like, in the green, only up by like $150 for that one trade, I really couldn't like get myself to close it, because I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I need to make it up. I need to make all this loss up. Um, One thing I did write some things down on my journal that I wanted to make clear. Nasdaq is still overbought, hitting new all-time highs. We hit a new all-time highs at 411.56. What I did notice, though, was the moment we hit that 411.56, we did have a strong pullback to end the day. Um, I told myself this multiple times last week, guys, and this is one of those things where you got to hold yourself accountable and remind yourself of your rules and your criterias. I told myself, I said, due to Nasdaq being so overbought and consistently hitting 52-week highs, and not knowing where my next resistance is going to be, it's best if I don't trade unless I'm just going to short Nasdaq. And the only way I'm going to short Nasdaq is if I get a break below that open range support. So that's the only way I was going to ever trade Nasdaq for the next few weeks. Well, as you guys can tell, I didn't stick to that, and I got faked out right here. Got faked out right. Actually, no, I got faked out right here, and it was just one of those things where it got to a point where I wasn't where the thing it just wasn't meeting my criteria. Market direction was not in my favor. Um, Honestly, guys, I'm gonna be straight with you. Today was just a shitty trading day. I'm not making any excuses. I had good sleep. Um, great Christmas yesterday. Got to spend it with the family. I hope you guys did too. But yeah, just just a really bad day. And the one thing I do want to take away from this, and this is like I have 3 journals that are completely full, and I just wanted to point this out. I lost $982. If you guys have been following me since I started in September, I was taking like a $1,000 loss. So I was hitting my daily loss limit of $1,000 at least like once a week. I got to a point where I would have consistent profits 4 days out of the week, and then one day out of the week I would take a loss and something would click and I would go full fucking retard and try to make it all up and end up taking $1,000 loss. Then it got to a point where I was taking it once every 2 weeks. So I had to go back in my journals and try to find out when was the last time I took $1,000 loss. And the last time I took $1,000 loss was November 7th. So over a month and a half since I've taken this big of a loss is the only good thing I'm finding out of it. I'm honestly getting out of today in general. Because one, I used to take a massive loss once a week. Then I got to a point where I was taking them every 2 weeks. Then once every 3 weeks. Then once every month. Now, the fact that you guys have seen me take some red days on my Weibo account. You guys have seen me take some red days on here, but I've been able to manage my risk and be smart and know when to walk away and keep those losses down to like $300 to $600, not $900 or $1,000. So I just wanted to show you guys, how important risk management is and just knowing when to walk away. When I saw that it was bullish and I saw that we were holding above this moving average and treating it as a valid support, I should have just got up and walked away. I really should have. I shouldn't even tried to trade today. I shouldn't have tried to trade this breakout. I should have stuck to what I said last week, and I was only trading breakdowns on the downside. Because at this point with Nasdaq, we don't know how much higher it's going to go. It's already overbought as it is on the longer time frames. And at this point, it's too risky. It's too risky to be going long with Nasdaq. And you really like last week, we sold off after we got rejected at 410.47, not once but twice. We just randomly sold off. Now don't get me wrong, by the end of the day on the day that it did sell off, we did recover almost 90% of the loss. But the fact that subconsciously I knew that okay, I knew that okay, hey, 410.47 is where our resistance is at. And when I looked at Webull, I'm sitting here going 410.24 is my open range resistance, and then 410.46 is my 52-week high and the last high that we've hit. But when we hit it, we got rejected and had a massive sell off. So look at how just small of room I had, just from all of this little bit of room I had. So and now now that I'm taking a step back, I'm asking myself, why the fuck did I trade? Why the fuck did I go long? Why would I go long? It made no sense at all. And I just, I thought I'd just be straight with you guys and just show you guys this nasty red day. Um, but yeah, nothing really much I can keep to it. I just overtraded. I didn't really put risk management to assess. On top of that, every time I kept taking an L, I kept telling myself, oh, I can make it back. I can make it back. And I don't want to see you guys do that. I've been trading now for a year and a half, and I feel like I shouldn't be making these same mistakes. But knowing that I also am not making them once a week or once every 2 to 3 weeks like I used to do. I mean, you guys can go back in September. I was taking one nasty loss a week, sometimes two, because I couldn't just walk away when I take a red day, when I take a red trade. Now thankfully, I was very disciplined and patient last week, and I was able to force myself not to trade twice last week simply because Nasdaq was overbought, We were still hitting 52-week highs. And like I said, I wasn't going to trade unless I was going short on Nasdaq. And the only way I would short Nasdaq is if we got a breakdown. And we never got that breakdown today. And I decided to be an idiot and try to trade the breakout, knowing wholeheartedly that um, the 52-week high for Nasdaq futures was at like 15,060. So I knew that like there wasn't much room, but I still traded it anyways. So I liked basic common sense. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I was just a dumbass today. Um, really frustrated with myself, but most importantly, I want you guys to learn from this. I want you guys to see that it only takes one day to fuck it all up. It takes one day to lose an account. It takes one day to blow 50% of your account. It takes one day to erase a full month's worth of profits. So at the end of it, that I really just want this to be a massive learning experience for you guys and for myself. And I made sure to journal it all, so that way I can, this weekend I can look back and make sure I don't make the same mistakes next week. And another thing too is I was lazy this past weekend. Every weekend I've been good about studying, reviewing my charts, reviewing my old journals, looking at past mistakes, past things that I did right. And I didn't do anything. I let the holidays be an excuse when I shouldn't have. I should have stayed disciplined, should have stayed patient, I should have stayed focused. And I lacked all of those things this past weekend and today. And this is what I get. So, in a way, to me, this is a well deserved loss. Yeah, I wish it would have been a smaller. I wish I would have just walked away when I was down $500, but I didn't. I kept trying to make it all back, and I just didn't walk away. There's really nothing more I can say to it, guys. Um, Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't even trade the rest of the week, but I'm still going to get on the computer. I'm still going to make an effort. But when I say I'm going to make an effort, what I mean by that is I'm only going to trade by shorting NASDAQ. I'm not going to trade this noise because this is what this is all is to me. All this in the middle, this is just nothing but noise. There's no true direction. You know, even though we're above the EMA right here, there was no true direction at this point. We didn't get true direction until like 2:30 when we finally started to hit higher highs and higher lows. But that's what I just really want to show you guys today. If you guys got any questions, please comment below. I love talking to you guys. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys have a safe day. Smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow.